Hey, I'm Taylor, and today I want to talk to you about how I recently discovered that I'm most likely have a high chance of being autistic. I know it's not, I don't have like a diagnosis. I actually don't want to get diagnosed for several different reasons, but it kind of came up because first I started dating someone, and like we went on our first date, and he was asking me like different things, like really random, if I had ADHD and like some other things, and then he like mentioned autism, and then I was like, what? Like, what's wrong with you type thing. I was like, what? Like, no one's even, but at that time, no one ever asked me about ADHD ever, and no one especially ever asked me about autism, so I was just kind of like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? Like, and then I asked him back, so I'm like, takes one to know one, like, and then later on, there's someone I know who has a adult child, but who has ADHD, and I was just like only messaging them, and they were asking me if I had ADHD, and I was like, what? But like I've always kind of like related to people with ADHD. I just never, like, whenever I would take tests online, it would always say like I didn't have it. So then I was just like, I don't know. And then, which I haven't taken any tests for specifically ADHD, but then I kind of like tabled that in my mind because I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Like, no one's ever asked me that before, whatever. Wondering like what made her like think that. And then sort of recently, someone else was talking about like my child potentially having autism, and I was just like, no. Like, in my head, I was like, no, he doesn't. Like, but of course, then I go scouring, like looking for information to see like, if it's like could be a thing. And then I discovered like a video of like a particular girl, and I watched it because I was really just like curious. And like everything she said in the video, like she's saying that she recently got diagnosed with autism, and everything she said in the video, I was like, oh my god, like that's like me, like to a T, like exactly, like everything she said. Like I only like one thing, maybe one or two things I heard about other people talking about, but like a lot of things she was saying were like oddly specific, and I was like I've never met anyone like say those things, so I was like, huh. And then I kept looking, and I've taken like between just like looking at online what people are saying, and I also just like ordered a book, but it has coming today. And then between that and like assessments and stuff, like online free assessments or whatever, like only one, everything was saying like yes, like autism, Asperger's or whatever, except one that was only like moderate, like, but everything else was like pretty high. And yeah, I just find I really relate like to a lot of people online, definitely talking about it, and like it explains a lot like with my childhood, because I was like shy, awkward, nerdy. Like I went from, what is it, third grade to like halfway through seventh grade, like almost like just never talking. And there were like at school, at home I wouldn't shut up, but at school, like we'd go out, like I would just kind of just sit there and watch people, and or just listen, or you sit there and kind of watch people without looking like I'm watching people. Or like listen in on conversations a lot. Like I guess I was nosy. I don't know, am I nosy? And I just like gathering information, I guess. I'm not trying to be like all in their business, like I don't really actually care, but I like just gathering information. So I would definitely just like sit there in school and like be doing my work actively, yes, focusing doing my work, but then like listening to like different like groupings of conversations, like, and pretending I wasn't listening. And like you could just learn so much about people that way. And but I want to talk about some ways that like are particular to me. Yes, this would just basically be like part one of how I discovered that I most likely have autism, like high functioning autism, and yeah, I think it's just like really crazy. I have like mixed feelings about it. Honestly, I'm not like, I'm in a okay mood right now, but I'm not really happy about it. I don't like know how to explain it. It doesn't make me feel good to like find that information out, because then it makes me feel, I guess, like more stuck, I guess. So, but I've been working like a lot on, because my son, he's having, I've been helping him with his emotions, and so because it's helping him, I worked on like doing inner child work and helping myself with my own emotions. And I think that's why now all of a sudden I'm appearing like more autistic, or like I have ADHD to people, because I'm like trying to get in touch with my feelings more. Whereas before I was very like repressed. I didn't really know what I felt, and I just wouldn't really talk about feelings. I definitely like had delay in like feeling things, or I just keep my feelings to myself. Like I rarely ever would cry. Like as an adult, as a child, I did cry more, but I kind of forgot about that. Like then I had to rely on like my family, like my brother, my mom, like especially like my brother. He's like, no, like you're sensitive, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, and he's like, yeah, you are. And I'm just like, I don't get how, like, because like I changed myself because of it, and became like kind of like where I come off as aloof, and like I get accused of not caring. And I'm just like, I don't know what you mean. So yeah, I want to go over some reasons how like that I can relate, as far as like with autism I can relate to other people who are on the spectrum. One of the things is I do have issues with authority, quote unquote. I'm an INTJ on Myers-Briggs type, so I thought like, oh, that's why. I don't really look at it as an issue. But from societal standards, yes, I guess it's an issue. I just like, if I just see people the same, like I don't place people in like high positions over like oh, homeless person or whatever. I give the same respect, like off the rip. Like everybody gets the same level of respect, and like it's up to them to change whether it goes like up or down, like by their behavior, by their character. So like it's hard for me not to talk to like a coworker the same as a boss, because to me I'm like, you're just a person just like this other person. You don't have more value than someone else. That's just how I kind of look at it. And then also just like I'm fine, like if I'm at work I can be told what to do, because like that's my, it comes along with the job, and I get that. But at the same time, like if it doesn't make sense to me, if I think it's nonsensical, then I might have some issues. For example, I used to work in sales, and our regional manager came, and a lot of people just didn't like him. They were kind of like afraid of him, sort of, and intimidated by him, I guess. And I wasn't, and I actually really kind of liked him. No one else did. And I remember like he would try to like, I'd watch him and he'd like try to get people to like just do stuff for him, but like it didn't make sense. Like it's stuff he could clearly do himself. And I remember one time he, I wouldn't really say much. And I remember one time he was like, hey Taylor, could you do me a favor? And I was like, well, it depends on what it is. But like I didn't mean anything by it, but I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me to agree to something and I don't know what it is. I think that would be unwise. So like, no matter who it is, like, so I was like, it depends on what it is. And then like my direct manager overheard it, and like, he's just kind of like giving, like, he's kind of scared, like horrified. And I don't remember what the thing was even, but like, it actually became a thing that particular like regional manager, he actually ended up admiring about me, I guess, because like, I was different, and he like actually appreciated it, thankfully for me, I guess. But I really didn't mean anything by it, but I'm just like, Like, if it's something you can do, like, it's something dumb you can do yourself. Like, you know, I saw on, like, my supervisor one time, there was like a, I think it was like a easel board or something, some type of like stand, and my supervisor was sitting down busy working, and the regional manager was like, hey, could you, he's like, can you go get that for me and carry it to the thing? And it's just like, his hands were free, he could have done it himself. So like, that's something like I just would have been like, no. Like I probably kind of would have turned it into a joke, but like, yeah, I just don't get, I'm just not, I don't treat people different. Like, if there's like a homeless person and like Beyonce, like, I actually might even treat the homeless person a little better. I honestly just like, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh my God, that's a famous person, or oh my, like they're like they're just a person, like, to me, like, so yeah. Okay, so the other thing I don't like is or that's like an autistic thing, or potentially, is that I don't like being the center of attention, which I think this is something that like people just would have a hard time believing or don't believe, especially because I used to model, but I hated it when I was a kid. Like, when I would play sports, and I was fine if we did practice, but if we would play like games, and there's so many people watching, and if somebody would like kick me, like it was soccer or whatever, either kick me the ball, like I would immediately try to get rid of it. Or like, if I couldn't do that, then like I would like pretend I hurt myself. I would pretend I got hurt, and it was obvious like I was pretending. I would pretend I got hurt, not just like for the sake of pretending, but because it was too much for me, like, because I was so worried I would like miss, I wouldn't do a good job, because it was just too unpredictable. And so and I would just constantly be on the sidelines whenever we play a game, because I would pretend like I got hurt to get out of it. Because yeah, it was just too much for me to, like, it was too much. It's too much. Hey guys, so I just wanted to pause and clarify something in the video. I just wanted to clarify that my fake crying, as far as forgetting out of playing sports during games, was something that I knew was obvious to other people, and I wasn't trying to pass it off as like believable. I was just trying to get out of said situation. And I just wanted to clarify this because if you're anything like me, when I was little, often enough I got accused of overreacting or fake crying when I wasn't, and this is like a sore spot for me, or was, especially when I was a kid. So I wanted to clarify that I was not pretending to be hurt in order to actually pass it off as truth. I was aware that people knew I was being extra, and so I just was trying to do whatever I could that was least confrontational to get out of said situation. You know, I would have preferred to have been like, hey, I don't want to do that. But like, when you're a little kid, most of the time people just like push you up to stuff anyway, or like they don't believe you, or they're just like, get in there. And you know, so I already knew that wasn't gonna work. So that was like the next thing. And if that didn't work, I was gonna try something else. But I just want to be clear about that I was not fake crying in an attempt like to be dishonest about it or to trick anyone. It was just to get out of said situation and like get my needs met, really, the best way I knew how. All right, back to the video. And like, this extends into like other things. So like cleaning, I can't, like, if it's anything I don't feel confident about, I don't want to be watched doing it. Like, so cleaning, I don't feel confident doing that. I like, times I lived with people, this is how I also know, like, I can't really live with people too much, like most people. Times I lived with people, like, I would wait until like everyone would leave the house to clean. And so I've learned that, like, I guess people like are like, I don't know if it's a neurotypical people type thing, but they would because they never saw me cleaning, they assumed I didn't clean. And then for me, I was just like, how could you possibly think I'm not cleaning? Because like, when you left, it was dirty, and we got back, it was clean. Like, I was kind of like, there's clear evidence here that like no one other, the ghost didn't do it. So I'm just like, I'm the only person here. And this has been an issue like twice. I've lived with people, so like I live with this couple before, and the wife, she was like obsessive about having her granite countertops clean, and it was like really awful because like there was so much light that would shine in the kitchen, like right on the granite countertops, and like show like any bit of dust. So like and the door she would use, like the garage door, opened right to the kitchen. So as soon as she'd walk in, she'd like look at the granite, like, and she was like obsessive about it. So like when they would leave, I would really like try to clean the granite countertops like really, really well. And like they would leave their laundry, and I would like I don't know if that's weird, I don't know, but it was odd because like they would like leave it near me, and I was like, so I would just like fold it for them. Like they didn't ask me. I don't know if that's weird. But I was just trying to help, like with anything I could think of, and you know, it's always like, who do you think folded your laundry? Not me, you know. And then also they had like a new puppy, and I slept in the living room. I slept on the couch. They didn't have a spare room for me because they live with their grandchildren, live with them. And so I slept on the couch, and they had a new puppy. It was a Rottweiler, and like she wasn't trained yet. So when she had to go to the bathroom, like in the middle of the night, like I would get up and take her like all the time to the bathroom. And I was just kind of so confused when they came to me, like complaining that I wasn't cleaning, and like because I'm literally like losing sleep over your dog. Like I'm like, none of you guys get to like stay asleep while like I'm up 3 times a night, like taking your new puppy out, like I'm trying to do like whatever I can, like different things. It wasn't just that, but I helped her put furniture together. I was like, so then like when it came back to me, like I was just like, it was really the wife though, not the husband. And I was just like so irritated, like, and like ticked off. I kind of went off about it. But yeah, cleaning, I don't like being watched cooking. I don't even really like cooking. Like no, I don't really like cooking. I like chopping vegetables, and like that's it. Like that's fine, and then the rest of it, like if I can like put it in an air fryer or microwave, I'm happy, and like I'm good, because I don't like waiting, and like I get impatient. I literally sometimes will like eat while I'm cooking, because like I like to eat a lot, and I can't wait. So there's just like different things. I can't stand being the center of attention. I like to be the one who's watching everyone, and like I like to like if I can just be invisible, like that would be great. And like even at parties, like I'm the person who's like against the wall, you know. I have to push myself. I haven't always done that. It's kind of interesting actually. I went to the club for like work, and for like it was like a modeling job I had to do, and that I actually like that, like because like I kind of get like lost in the trance, and like other people are just like, you know, inhibitions are lost, so like I just like, it's not as big of a deal. I can kind of be a little bit more myself. The other thing is like rigidity, and like having like rigidity in systems. I didn't know that's what they meant before me watching videos of other people talking about it. If you'd asked me if I'm rigid, I would be like no, and turns out I do like create systems for like everything almost, and I didn't know that. I thought everyone did that. Like, I don't know how you function if you don't. Cause like, I remember there was some stuff going on with my son, and I was talking to my dad, and like, I was telling him about some frustrations I was having with like some feedback I was receiving about like my parenting style. And I'm like, but like this and this and this. And then like my dad asked me, he was like, well, what do you do in that situation? And I started explaining like in detail, I go through this, and like he just summarized it, and he was like, oh, okay, so you have a system. He like cut me off, and like he's like, you have a system. And I'm like, yeah, I get, you know, but it just didn't feel rigid to me. It feels like without the system, I couldn't go on. I have to have the system. The other thing that I relate to is being clumsy or like not coordinated. Like I can't really like dance that well. I don't know, like there's certain dance moves that become like popular. Some of them I can do, and like some of them like seem like so easy for everyone else, and like I just like I cannot do it. Like flossing, I can't. I can't do it. Another thing is hula hooping. I can't hula hoop. Like, I could never figure it out. And like everybody I know, like, in hula hoop, except my son. He came to me one day, like recently, very recent, and he was talking to me about how, like, at school they were doing hula hooping, and he's like, yeah, we did the ring thing or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, hula hoop, and he's like, yeah, and everybody was doing it, but I couldn't. I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it kind of feels good, like I'm not alone, but like, it's like, maybe it's embarrassing that like I can't hula hoop. And then like for a while I used to be able to jump rope, but for some reason now I can't. Like, and then like people doing like what is like double dutch and stuff, that the thought of doing that like terrified me. When I'd watch people do that, I was like, oh no, there's no way. Like, I'm just totally gonna mess up. Like, but I'm just really clumsy and like just kind of, it's sometimes I'm really good. Like, I'll have like an awesome catch and I'm like, oh, that's so satisfying. But then other times I'm just like trying to catch it, it just falls, or like I'm bumping into things all the time. For some reason, when it's like that time of the month, I seem to get like clumsy. Not always, but a lot of the time. And like, I so far I've not met anyone else who has that problem. Just me. Ooh, the other thing is I do not like traditional dates. Like, whenever I do like online dating, I'm like putting like that in my description, like what type of dates I like or whatever. I cannot stand like traditional like dinner date, or like I don't like the sitting directly across from another person like and talking to them and I don't know them. Like, it feels horrible to me. Like, I prefer like, if I had to, I prefer like the booth where I could just sit next to the person. Or like, I really actually prefer to just like do things that where I can touch the other person. I guess because I get like pent up energy, and I prefer, like, I would be happier like on a date to get ice cream and like sit in a park on a bench than I would a dinner date. Like, because like then you can like nudge the person, and I feel like I'm like transferring my energy off onto them when I get to do that. It makes me it helps me like relax. Like the touching, which is funny because like then there's other times I just really don't like to be touched. But like, if I'm like, if it's a romantic interest, then like, yes, I want to touch you. Like, not all the time, but so yeah, like I like things like, ooh, like things that are like kind of like require you to trust the other person. Like, once on a date, I did like a virtual reality like game, and it's like 2-player, so you know, you kind of like had to play along and like, you know, have each other's back. Like, I love stuff like that. Or like I probably like love to go like, I don't know, zip lining or something. Like, just different stuff like that where you can like be playful and like, you know, push each other or whatever. Not push like literally, but like not like be silly. I like to just like touch and like get the energy off. If I'm like meeting someone, I'm like, you take all my nervous energy, put it over there. The other thing is, I thought this was just how I was raised by my mom, but not liking tradition for tradition's sake. Like, a lot of holidays, I don't like, I don't see the need to like be involved. Or like, for example, like when I grew up, my mom did not tell us about like Santa Claus. Like, I was the kid that told other kids that Santa Claus wasn't real, and I was happy about it, and I'm gonna get some heat on that one. But there's another boy in my class. I remember in kindergarten, there's another boy in my class, and he was like, no, Santa Claus is not real. And I remember it was me and him, we got in an argument with the rest of the class about how Santa Claus is not real, and we're just like going in like a crowd of like kids. And it was just like kind of hilarious. But yeah, that never made any sense to me. And people would be like, oh, you should teach your kid like about Santa and like to use their imagination. And I'm like, but that's not them using their imagination. That's using your imagination, and you're tricking them into thinking it's reality, and it's not, and it's deceptive. I never understood that. And there'd be like some kids who like are seriously upset when they like find out that Santa Claus is not real. Like, and then it's just like doesn't make any sense to me. Like, my mom, she would just like take us to go like sometimes just pick out what we want, and then like she would still put surprises in there, but like a lot of times like she didn't want to like probably because autistic, like she didn't want to hear about how we didn't like it, or like, so she's like, fine, just go pick out, or like have us like circle, you could like, what is it, the JCPenney catalog, and like circle what you want, and then she's like, she picks out of that, and then like, so then it's kind of like a surprise, but yeah, we really wrap presents, we knew what they were, or it didn't matter, like, it was just still, like, it was still a fun experience, like, or you forget, if you get them early enough, you can kind of like be like, what was this again, like, forgot, and like, you're shaking it, like, it was so much better that way. I was so much happier being able to pick what I actually like wanted, like in person, or like, and it made me feel better. Like I really wouldn't feel good about like, oh, like all these gifts are for Santa, like Santa Claus, like this like amazing person. It's like, you, mom and dad, like step it up. Why didn't you guys get me? Like, I don't know. Like this seems kind of weird. Like, like to me, I'd rather have the gifts from my parents than like Santa Claus, especially like, sorry, but especially since he's like old white guy, like, and then like for my mom, like when she was little, like she grew up in New York, so like they didn't have a chimney, so when she was like 5, she was like, that doesn't make any sense, like how's it gonna come down the chimney, we don't have one, like and like to me there's a lot of things about it like just didn't make sense, like so yeah. But yeah, to add on that, like also my parenting style is like pretty unorthodox. My parenting style is pretty unorthodox. And like unconventional. Like but I take pride in that. Like I like that. But then like when we go out of the house, it's hard. It is hard. It's hard. Like, because I want my kid to be like this free thing, like, you know, go run wild. Like, but like, there's a lot of like societal norms I just don't, I don't get. Like I remember when I was a kid and I like wanted to sing a lot, and like singing at the table, like for eating together, and then my mom's like, don't sing at the table, that's rude. And I'm just kind of like, why though? like I'm happy, I want to sing, like, and I was like a kid, like when I would eat, I would just like kind of like I still do that. I get like when I eat, like I'll like swing my feet because I'm like happy, and I like still like will do kind of like this, if I feel really comfortable, I'll do like this like little dance like when I'm eating at the table. And like now with my son, like when we finally, like he was like 6 months and I'm like feeding him, we eat together and stuff, especially when we started eating like the exact same things. One of my things that like we religiously do is like play music when we're eating, and like we'll like bobbing our head, because it's just like I just love it. I just love it. And like sometimes we'll get up and like we're supposed to be eating, and like just like dance together, like. But I'm like, that to me, like that's what life is about, like that stuff. I'm not going to work. Okay, no. So yeah, the other thing is me not taking hints well. Like it's so crazy because like I knew this. I tell people like. I got to the point where I just tell people if I'm dating them, like, I don't like hints well, so, like, you have to just tell me. But I didn't know that was, like, an autistic trait. Like, I didn't know that at all. So, and I definitely love direct communication. Like, I get frustrated when, like, I'm asking someone for something and, like, they don't want to tell me no. That is so annoying to me. Like, tell me no! And I definitely relate to, like, what is it, The Notebook? I never actually watched the movie, but the scene where he's like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. And I'm like, that's me. Like, just say it, because I'm so good. Like, I've so many times in my life, like, there's so many things that happened, like, in my childhood, and where, like, somebody said something, and they're like, well, if you just don't know, then I can't help you. Or, like, you know, or just, like, I remember I lost, like, a friendship before with someone, and I still to this day, I have no idea, like, why she stopped being my friend. I have no idea. And, like, stuff like that, like, bugs me. Like, if people just don't tell me, like, straight up, or, like, I had one person I was dating, like, just, like, ghost me, and that was hard, because I wasn't, like, ready for it. Like, I needed someone, like, to be like, so we're not together anymore, like, just, I don't know. That, to me, that type of stuff it just doesn't hurt. Like, not, like, it's not that it doesn't hurt, but it's just not, like, that offensive, like, in the same way. It's not really offensive at all. Like, I actually appreciate the honesty, because it helps me, like, okay, we're clear, like, this is done. Like, I just need things to be clear. That's hard for me, especially, like, yeah, getting accused of being, like, argumentative and stuff, or, like, if you do speak up for yourself and say things, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be argumentative, but, like, that's how, like, conversations work, don't they? Like, if you say something, like, I'm allowed to say something back? No? Yes? No? Okay, this is why I don't talk then. because like I never say the right thing. So like, yeah, at school, that's why a large portion of it, I didn't talk at school because I just get like in third grade, I remember like trying to like fit in or like talk to people, like especially if they were like more like normal, popular. I would try to like talk to them and it just, yeah. So I was just like, yeah, never mind. So that's when I started, like, I was just like, I'm not gonna say anything because like I just keep getting it wrong. Okay, so I have to film the rest of this in my car because I have somewhere to be. But the other thing is having low energy. Like, I'm a very, very low energy person. I've always been since I was a kid, like always. And I'm very cranky about my sleep. Like, that's like been like a joke kind of like in the family about like how I am. Like, don't F with me about sleep. Like, yeah. Anyway, so like I was always like the first one to go to bed, like almost always, not literally, obviously. But typically like we'd watch movie, like have movie night or something, and I just like I couldn't. Come 7:30, like I start getting tired. I'm still this way. 7:30, I start getting tired. I stop talking as much. It's just kind of like just clockwork. And I really could go to bed like at 7:30, but like it kind of like it's like I wind myself down. So, and if like the ideal sleep for me would be that like I wake up at like maybe like 5 a.m. I take a nap at like 12 or 1, and then I go to bed between like 7:30 and like 9:30. Like that like is like perfect. Like I've learned that like I actually like need like a minimum of like 10 hours of sleep to feel like okay to have like energy for the day. I just, for the longest, I don't know, I just felt alone in that. And for the most part, unless it was like a much older person, yeah, I just felt pretty alone in that. And then I always thought it was weird, like people would talk about napping and they'd be like, yeah, just like I took like a 15-minute nap or like a 30-minute nap. And I'm like, that's a cat nap. What's that? Like, if I nap, it has to be like, it's usually like 3 hours. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a nap. Like, if I go to sleep for 15 minutes and have to wake back up, or 30 minutes and have to wake back up, like, I'm irritated. Like, that made it worse. I don't know. For me, that makes it worse. So if I only have 15 minutes to nap, I usually don't. Like, I might like rest my eyes or put my head down. Like, I think we would do that at like school and stuff. Like, that got in my, I would just like pretend I was asleep. Like, cause like what? But yeah, and I just, the other thing, I fall asleep like just really easy. Like, overnight, I like night jobs. I could never. Like, I already know it's like signing me up for failure. I just, no. People recommend that to me all the time now since I'm a mom, since my son. I'm like, when exactly am I supposed to sleep? If he's up in the daytime and then I'm like, and like sleeping during the day, that sounds horrible. And I know people who have done it and like they're miserable, like who've done night shift stuff. No, that's like a recipe for disaster. I know it's like inevitable at some point. I would like nod off at the wheel. I also don't even like night driving in the first place because the lights, I can't stand it. Like, I was so hard for me because it was like a one way when I would get my job. And so it's like one way and like all the lights are shining in my eyes. I also have like astigmatism in one eye. So, yeah, lights shining in my eye. Like, I cannot stand it. It gives me a headache. Like, it's just, I bought like glasses for it. Doesn't really work. And then like especially people like shine their headlight, they drive really close to me and they shine their headlights like through the back of my car. Like, sometimes there's been times like I've just like gotten over and pulled over so they can just like go, because like I just no. And then like my dad, like he has like the same problem, so he'll be like, just focus on and my mom too, just focus on like the light. That doesn't work. It's any light, like if the light is like over there maybe, but like it's like literally coming at you. Like, yeah, it's horrible. Easily being overstimulated is another thing. I didn't really know what to like put that into, other than like I'm just like low energy, and then like I am like introverted, so it's like maybe I couldn't really figure out why I'm like that. But my mom is like that, easily overstimulated by noise. My mom is worse. Yeah, it builds up in me, and I don't like it. Yeah, noise. I wasn't as noise sensitive when I was in school. It was actually like I could like tune it out and turn it into like background noise and like make it like soothing. I don't know. Like I could, when there was a lot of background noise, like kids were talking and like goofing off. That was like when I could work my best. But then like something shifted like as I got older, and it's now the opposite almost. I have a hard time. Yeah, I have a hard time with a lot of noise now. So not all the time. It's just like kind of specific. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like some noise might not really bother me, and then another noise might. So it's not like all the time. But yeah, like I have sometimes like when like I just can't take it, and I'm like, with my son I have to be like, well, mommy needs some space, or like I'll have to be like, you know, like I just literally, I'm just kind of like direct, so I'll just be like, okay, well, no talking for right now, okay? Or I'll tell him like, well, you can talk to me, but like mommy doesn't want to respond, and like, or something like that. Because I actually like, I love listening to my son like ramble and like talk about stuff, like I really do, but like it's so much, and I'm like a single mom, so it's just like me, and so to get it all day is a little hard. But I really love listening to him like talk about his day or things that are interesting. Like I just love it because I just love information. So like I actually am very fond of people who like will just ramble on and like just like talk incessantly about like something they're interested in. I love it. Like it helps me like be like really attracted to people who just like information dump, like especially like if it's something I've never heard of before, I don't know about it, like, and they just information dump at me, like I just like eat it up. Like I really do. It just makes them like so attracted to me. But yeah, I think that's part of why like it's so hard for me to like find people like I'm attracted to sometimes, like, or like I even want to like be bothered with in the first place. Be bothered with, that's terrible. In the first place, like, because like I think I'm just like naturally attracted to like people who are more like neurodivergent anyway, because I find now that I'm looking back on like people I've been with, like usually it's like they had something kind of going on that was kind of sort of similar. The other thing which I was just like talking about is I have a hard time like talking and like doing anything else at the same time. Like, so like one-on-one conversation where I just like sit, like even on the phone, like I can't, if I'm working on something and someone calls me on the phone, like I have to just be in the conversation. I have to like stop what I'm doing pretty much, or I'll just like stand there like who knows, maybe I'm supposed to be cooking, and like if I was like I'm chopping vegetables or whatever, and then they call me, then like I'll be on the phone and I'll like just kind of like be holding the knife, like and like I just can't like go on, like my body can't go on, like, or like I'll just like I could pace, I could do that because it's like really mindless, but yeah, I can pace, or like sometimes I'll just go sit down, like if I'm on the phone, or like go lie down. I have to like just stop whatever I'm doing for the most part. So sometimes when I'm driving too, like if somebody's talking to me, if I'm like trying to like think about taking a turn, or like if it's not a route I always take and I can like mindlessly do it, if I have to like think about what I'm doing, then like I have to be like, well, hold on a second, like. And like another thing that we have, like my mom and family, like when I was a kid it didn't really affect me, but like one of the things, like she'll be like, maybe she's driving like a new place, she doesn't know where she's going, and the music's on, so she'll be like, oh, like let me turn on the music so I can see, like it's like, and it's just so relatable. I'm like, oh my god. Or she'll be like some other kind of thing, or like, you know, let me turn off the light so I can hear you, or like it's like weird stuff like that. And I'm like, I so relate to that. And like now that I'm older, like sometimes when she's driving, I'm riding with her, like at the same time, like if she's looking for a place and I'm like thinking about like trying to like help her, at the same time we'll like both reach to like turn the music down, like because like it gets overstimulating at the same point. It's so like interesting. Yeah. So I have to go now, but I'm definitely going to make like probably a part 2, part 3 of this, because like I have way more, like, I don't know, this is kind of exciting, like, because I feel like I can talk about this stuff now, but then like it makes me sad because like I was like literally talking to my brother, and I'm like, I've only found like 4 people in my life ever who like I really feel like I relate to, and like 2 of those people who are like going through like really like a lot of depression and like issues. Another person, they're like seriously ill, and the other person, like one of the people like also lives overseas. So it's just like, it's really hard. Like I'm not in touch with those people.